What is up, guys? Welcome back to RT2. So today's video we're doing some more Forza content, and unfortunately I don't have any racing to give you guys because I haven't really gone and fought on any randoms today, but thought I'd do a cool video and just kind of like a comparison between this R34 Skyline GTR, which if a lot of people who know me personally know this isn't actually even remotely my favorite car from a Nissan. When it comes down to GTRs, I've always preferred the 32 and 33 over it. But I mean, at the end of the day, I still prefer it over the 35. The 35 is not really my favorite. I'm sorry to all the Nissan fanboys probably watching this video, but yeah, so this is an R34 Skyline. It is completely stock. We're going to be doing a comparison between a stock one and a fully built one. Driving feel and a drag strip event, mostly going to be focusing on trap speed more than time because I don't really have much of a timer. But yeah, so this car is bone stock, like I said. We're in photo mode right now. That's how I was able to do all that. But we're going to set the destination really quick for the drag strip here, the airfield. Not the drag strip at the festival, because obviously that would take me a while to drive back from the castle here. But I'm going to drive it kind of like a real life.
To do so.
I'm going to drive it kind of like slow and like casual, like I would in a real life car. And then, of course, I'm going to beat on it later on. So for those who don't know, I'm running a Logitech G920 wheel setup, which is how I'm able really to feel a driving feel difference. So, there we go. And of course, I'm used to driving cars with triple the horsepower in this game, such as my M2 or my or the Civic from the last Forza video. But this is pretty alright so far. Obviously, being all-wheel drive and being bone stock, it feels a little bit heavy, but like it doesn't really feel bad. Not too bad at all. It feels really planted, at least, you know, it's a video game, but I don't know. I don't think a real R34 would handle like rails or anything, kind of like it does in this game, but it handles really well. Third gear pull. So not too shabby. I mean, it could be a lot worse.
Yards. Turn sharp right.
Could be the PLP50 stock. Oh, well, lost a little bit there. Alright, so for the first run I'm gonna do just a normal launch like always, and just like a race launch, but we're gonna do no lift shift. So I no lift shift a lot in this game, so I'm gonna do just normal shifts, and we're gonna see what our trap speed is, and then I'll come back and do a run with the no lift shifting. So I'm going to launch about 5,000 RPM because I'm not really familiar with the car yet. So yeah, 5K is too low. It bogs out really hard, but she moves alright. Traps at 114.34. So not too bad. Obviously, it's not neck breaking fast or anything, but definitely not too shabby at all for a stock car with only like 276 horsepower, allegedly. You know, the Japanese agreement in the 90s. These made well over 276. They just didn't want to say it did. All right, so next one we're gonna do. I'm gonna launch again from 5 just for fairness sake, but I'm gonna do no lift shift. So. Be a lot more banging gears in this run here. It definitely doesn't like it. .116, so a gain of about 2 miles an hour with no lift shift versus without the no lift shift. So we're going to take this on back to the house now, and we're going to actually do some building on this car. So I probably am going to change the color to Midnight Purple 3 just because I prefer that color on the R34. It's one of my favorite colors the car came in. But yeah, we're going to do like a little bit of fun here. Just kind of leaving the track. Clutch dump, it just hooks. Man, this ain't no fun at clutch dumps. Granted, it's all-wheel drive, but still. I'm used to some cars just blowing the tires off on a clutch jump with my twin turbo Z28 that I've got as well, which I really want to do a video with soon. So expect maybe some roll racing videos with the Z28. I'm also going to try to get my friend Michael to come on here with me and do some roll racing with the Civic from the last Forza video against a Hellcat or something like that, just to see how fast a turbo Honda with all-wheel drive is against one of the fastest American muscle cars. Now, obviously, stock for stock, the Challenger would destroy it, but yeah, so we're pulling back up to my little house. The reason I bought this house was literally due to its proximity to that drag strip. I spent a lot of time there, so I was like, I'm just going to buy the closest house to it, which was this one. So, Castle View Road. So we're going to fully build this car, so I'm probably going to time-lapse this while I do this, so everything's going to get done, so I'm not going to, like, go meticulous with it, but we're just going to completely build it. Alright guys, so the car is done, as you guys can see. So I wound up doing a little bit different than what I had originally planned. I originally planned to make the car Midnight Purple 3, but I really didn't want to go through the hassle of locking the design, not getting to do the brass wheels like what I wound up doing on the car. So matte black hood on the Bayside blue looks pretty good. I wound up going with drag tires instead of race tires because that's what I spend more time doing in the game anyway, is more drag racing, roll racing, all that kind of stuff. So I went ahead and just put drag tires on the car. As far as the numbers go, I was really impressed with the weight. However, I'm not impressed with the horsepower. The horsepower only was like 785, I think, so definitely not what I expected. I kind of expected to be close to 900, but hopefully it still makes for a fun driving car. I went with the full Nismo kit on the car as well, outside of the spoiler, since there is no Nismo spoiler, but I went with the Nismo bumpers and side skirts, and then the spoiler is just the stock GTR wing. So yeah, we're going to take this thing back up to the drag strip. On the way there, I'll do like a little bit of just kind of cruising to see how different it feels, because again, this car is now fully built, so it has all the lightweight flywheels, the clutches, all that stuff. Everything is set, so let's go for a ride. All right, definitely sounds a lot better. Reps to 9,000 RPM now. That'll be tight. Definitely feels a lot faster. The throttle response is so much better. That flywheel really did the trick with this car. Little 30-gear action. Oh, it's so much faster. So much faster now. Of course, that would be easy to say, but with it having, 785 horsepower now versus the 276, 300, whatever that these came with. Sounds a lot better. I'm a lot bigger fan of the sound now. I thought it sounded pretty alright stock, but this sounds way better. So obviously people are going to compare this to the Supra. This car is definitely going to be a lot slower than a fully built Supra. But I would like to see a battle between like a similarly built Supra and this. So who knows, maybe I'll try to find someone who will do a similarly built Supra and run it in this car against it. Yeah, third gear gets up to the speeds we were crossing the traps at during the original run. So same rules apply here. We're going to do launch at 5,000 RPM, no lift shift the first run, and see what we run. So it was a 114.3 for the last, the stock run in this setup. We're going to see how well the fully built car does. That don't look good. Okay, it does. 162. So we're already about, what is that? Like 50 something, around almost 50 miles an hour exactly faster than it was when I first drove the car here. So that was a no lift shift run. So we're getting ready to do the actual no lift shift run, which you guys saw actually gained it a couple miles an hour on the last run at 116. One thing I do wish I tested stock was a roll run, like a 30 roll through the traps and then letting it eat. So maybe eventually do that, but this car obviously just completely shuts off at 5,000 RPM. So definitely, if I were to run this competitively, I'm gonna need more RPM. Here you go for the no lift shift run. On 68, so that gained actually a lot more miles an hour than the stock no lift shift run did over itself. So that was at 168, which is exactly 52 miles an hour faster than the original run with the stock setup. So all in all, I mean, it's a huge gain in terms of speed. Obviously, this car is not going to be a 200 mile an hour beast or anything, but I do want to do a quick comparison to another one of my fully built cars, which you guys already know about, and that is the Turbo Civic. So once I get back up here to the start line, I'm going to switch cars to the Civic, and we'll do a quick run, no lift shift, to see what this does against it without actually running them head to head. So keep in mind that this car traps up 168 on the no lift shift. I don't know what the Civic runs yet. I haven't really tried. Alright, so we got that Civic out that you guys saw from the last video. I was racing the Mustangs that got horribly destroyed by that twin-turbo RTR. So this car should fare a lot better against the Skyline than most of my cars, I feel like. Maybe the Evo would give it a run for its money that I have as well. So again, the Skyline trapped 168. So yeah, it's actually 2 miles an hour faster than the sleeper Civic. So pretty impressive stuff out of the Skyline. Sure, I would have liked to have seen more power, but I am definitely impressed because this is probably one of my more favorite race cars that I have. Sure, I could have launched a lot harder, but even at 9 grand, this car will stall on the line. So obviously it's got too much grip. But yeah, I thought I'd show you guys this cool little comparison between a stock Skyline GTR, and then fully build it, and then running it against the car you guys have already seen with the sleeper Turbo Civic that is all-wheel drive. So hope you all enjoyed. Stay tuned RT2 for more Forza content, other sort of games once I get around to filming more games. And yeah, stay tuned for that. I'll see you guys next time.